If you are fairly new to Siege, this is the perfect video for you. We'll cover everything from how to learn maps faster than you ever have before, what phantom pressure is and how to create it, and even methods you can use to completely change your aim overnight. I've included timestamps in the description below so you can skip ahead or revisit any tip you like. First, we'll cover how to learn maps fast. There are 4 main ways to quickly learn maps. If you use all of them, you'll know every map in no time. The first is free-for-all to learn angles. Since you're always taking gunfights against people on the maps, you'll get a feel for all the angles, which will allow you to play better in a real match. Target drill is also a great way to learn crosshair placement and figure out where players typically play. If you go around the map finding these bots and going for one taps, it will improve your map knowledge and awareness when you're actually playing a match. It'll also help your crosshair placement a ton. Now, if you need to learn callouts, just look at your compass. You can see here at the bottom of my screen, it says above my compass that this is trophy room. This is kitchen hall. Over here is kitchen. Then we have dining. And if while you're doing target drill, free for all, or even just in an actual match, you just pay attention to your compass down there, then you can have a very good idea of what places like this are called. And finally, if you want to learn site setups, watch videos from different YouTubers. For example, Atheno has a guide on how to attack and defend every bomb site. Videos like that will help you learn site setups a ton, or you can watch people make tutorials on TikTok. Next, we'll go over the best operators that you should use starting out. Whether you already have them unlocked or you're trying to figure out which operators to buy, these are the best ones for you. First, we'll start with the attackers. The first of the 3 best attackers that you should use as a beginner is Ace. Ace is great because you get a good feeling for how the rounds play out. For example, how to coordinate with EMPs or other players to get the breach open, which will help you understand what are the actual requirements for getting the breach open. Then you'll have a good understanding of, hey, it's actually kind of difficult to plant sometimes because you're going to be the one trying to push into the bomb site, take all the space, and plant without Doc here absolutely doming you. In general, Ace is just a great operator to get a feeling for how Siege is meant to be played. Now, the second operator that is great to pick as a beginner is, surprisingly enough, Ash. Ash is an amazing operator because she has 1, a fantastic gun. 2, she is one of the most versatile operators in the entire game. She has breaching charges to make vert. She's a 3-speed with a great gun, making her fantastic for getting kills. And her Ash charges are actually amazing at clearing utility. One of the best operators in the game to counter things like Azami, Maestro, and any of the other operators like Castle or anybody that needs some kind of explosion to destroy their utility. However, still coordinate with your team because Ash mains that just rush into sight and die are the worst. Now, the third operator that you should pick as a beginner is Striker. Now, if you thought Ash was versatile, Striker is by far the most dynamic operator in the entire game. Striker has an amazing gun with an ACOG, has a secondary shotgun for opening up vert or opening up rotates, and has 2 secondary gadgets, meaning you can do some insane combinations. For example, you can run hard breach charges and EMP grenades, almost guaranteeing that you get the wall open. You can run frag grenades and stun grenades. This is good because you can clear out utility using your stuns and then use frags to get people out of their corners. You can even run claymores to watch your flanks and smokes to help you get the plant down. There are a ton of options with Striker, and Striker can fill basically any role. Now let's move on to the defenders. The first operator that you should be running as a beginner is Mute. That is because Mute has the best weapon combo in the entire game with a shotgun and the SMG-11. The shotgun allows you to set up the site for your team, and the SMG-11 allows you to take any kind of gunfights at range. This will help you learn site setups and what holes are actually useful, and also allow you to take dynamic gunfights where you can take mid-range fights with the SMG-11, or you can take close-range fights with your shotgun. Mute also counters almost every attacker in the game. For example, if I get tracked by Deimos, I am currently revealed to Deimos, and Deimos is revealed to me, but if I place a Mute jammer or walk into one that's already placed, it will counter Deimos and turn off his track. The same works for Dokubi's calls. It counters basically anyone with a remote gadget or someone who can track you. If it's electronic, Mute counters it, and almost every attacker in the game has an electric-based gadget. And he also has a C4, which if you didn't know, is one of the most broken secondary utilities in the game. Now, the second defender that you should be running is Fenrir. Fenrir's kit is extremely simple. All you have to do is throw it down and activate it. Then if any attackers walk past it, it will activate and blind them. This will help you get a ton of kills on enemies that just can't see you at all. This also means that you can cut off choke points. For example, if I place a Fenrir here on K9 door, I don't have to worry about anybody walking through this door anymore. I know it's clear. So if I'm playing over here on these head holes, I can just continue taking gunfights over here. And then if at any point it activates, then I know that someone is coming from this direction. He also has the bailiff, so you can help to set up sight. Now, the last defender that you should be running is Cade. Cade is one of the best wall denial operators in the entire game. When you place his electric claw, it will electrify any wall within the radius. You can even do it from below. This makes Cade extremely hard to deal with for the attackers, because if they want to get the breach open, they have to find this little thing. He also has an amazing gun with an ACOG. This gun does a ridiculous amount of damage. It is 2 shots and they are dead to any operator in the game. He is also the only operator in the game that can electrify hatches, meaning without a Cade, they can get hatches for free no matter what. Now, the third tip for beginners is create phantom pressure. You should be creating as much phantom pressure as humanly possible. Let me explain what that means. Phantom pressure is when you open up angles even if you're not going to use them. For example, if this hatch is closed, then defenders don't have to worry about any attackers coming through the hatch. But if you open up the hatch, even if you're not playing here, now they have to watch the hatch just in case you crouch walk over here and decide to drop. If they're not watching it, then you can get a ton of free map control. You should also be opening up all of the windows, because the more windows that you have open, the more angles they have to watch. Or if you open up an angle like this, now they have to watch for anybody peeking them here. Having the breach open is also a great example. If you have the breach open, they have to worry about people coming in the breach. And this is too many angles for just 5 defenders to watch. Now, once you have the phantom pressure open, then just be on the lookout for any of the phantom pressure points that you can jump in and take advantage of. For example, there's nobody watching this, so when I jump in construction window, I could catch Capcan here off guard. Any round that you use a point of phantom pressure to push in the site and win a round, now they know they have to worry about every wall that is open and will be worried about it for the rest of the game. Now, the fourth tip for beginners is how to get incredible aim fast. There are 3 main ways that you can quickly improve your aim in a game like Siege. One is just lowering your sensitivity. I'm on 400 DPI and 1010. If you're on console, the same thing applies, but I don't have a controller to show you. The reason a lower sensitivity is better is because if I am on a high sensitivity, let's say 100, if I barely move my hand, I'm already off his head. Since aiming is basically put your hand in the right spot on your mouse pad to be on their head and kill them, this gives you almost no margin for error for where your hand has to be. If you're a centimeter off in real life, then your crosshair will be all the way over here and you will miss them. But if you turn down your sensitivity, you can move your hand a lot farther and still be on their head, meaning even if your hand is in a slightly wrong spot on your mouse pad, you will still hit them in the head and get the kill, which allows you to have much better aim without actually being better at aiming, since it'll always be on their head. If you can see, my hand is not being very accurate right now. It's moving all over the place, but that doesn't matter because I'm on a low sensitivity. If I'm on a higher sensitivity, the exact same amount of variation puts me way off his head during this tracking. Now, the second option is free-for-all deathmatch. We already talked about it before for learning maps, but it's actually incredible for improving your aim. You will take a ton of gunfights, meaning you'll get very good at actually shooting an enemy's head. It's also better than actually playing in a match, because instead of getting maybe 8 kills during an entire 30-minute match, you'll be getting up to 30 kills within 10 minutes, and that's not even including the gunfights you lose, meaning you could get up to potentially even 60 gunfights within 10 minutes. That is amazing practice for making you better at movement, mechanics, and aim in general. Now, the last way to improve your aim is target drill. Again, we already talked about this for learning maps, but target drill will help with your crosshair placement, and crosshair placement is one of the most important aspects of aiming, because if you're already looking at their head as you round a corner, all you have to do is press mouse 1 or pull the right trigger if you're on controller, meaning you don't even have to aim to get that kill. You will instinctively know exactly where to aim and shoot them in the head without needing any kind of real mechanics. Maybe run one of these a day, just changing the map each time, and your crosshair placement will get way better. Now, the last tip is to always focus on the objective first. Kills come second. This will improve the way that you play Siege immensely. Let me show you why. So your goal on attack is to always plant the bomb. Now, if you want to do an armory take and plant the bomb over there, then first you need to clear CCTV. So instead of searching for kills, instead clear the rooms one by one, and if there are any enemies playing inside of the rooms that you need to clear, then you go for the kill. Now, if Cav is playing downstairs, right, let's say she's hiding over here in Tellers, that doesn't affect you. You do not need to push Cav and kill her. Instead, figure out the rooms that are actually going to matter to your push and clear them out. Once you have CCTV control, then your next step is to open up the breach. If there's someone swinging this door here, then you can kill them. But otherwise, the main priority is to get the breach open. If an enemy is contesting you, you can kill them to secure getting the breach open. But the goal is the breach. If the defenders aren't bothering you, then don't go for a random kill. Now, once you get the breach open, there will probably be somebody playing behind half wall. So now your goal is to clear them out of half wall. Whether you get the kill or not, it doesn't matter as long as half wall is clear. Then you can push and either plant right here, or maybe you want to push deeper and clear anybody out of this area, so that way you can plant in this slightly safer spot. This works for every map. Figure out where you want to plant and then figure out the steps that you have to take to accomplish that. Now, if you're on defense and you want to make this job harder on the attackers, then check out this video here on the 5 best tips for roamers so that you can be the best roamer you can possibly be.